Hey y'all, man, I'm I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Y'all know I just come in and start talking, but this is not as easy as it looks. On the outside, um, and the thumbnail is not a lot. Some of these stories so deep. I got to reading two of them and then realized I didn't even get my stories in order. And once again, not making my notes and stuff. As the cycle goes on, I mean, stuff is just gonna move faster and faster. So it's really something I'm gonna have to watch out for. I might have to start getting ready even earlier and start setting timers. Um, and really, I'm trying to like narrow this down because I got a lot of stories here. Um, but hopefully, you guys are having a good morning. Um, Bitcoin's pumping right now. Some of the altcoins are bleeding a little bit, but hopefully, nobody's getting scared at the market. I saw some news on actually one project that we got in earlier that I got to check on. That's Neon. I think somebody in the group was talking about it yesterday, but I got to check on the validity of that. Because even when it's a project that I'm in, you don't want to just go crazy over every news piece you see. Like I always say, that's how they control your emotions, and you find yourself getting excited for no reason sometimes. So just always check your news sources. Don't just go off first persons or word of mouth. I'm gonna just start talking about one of these out of the blue, and I'm pretty sure I got a number of articles. I'm actually narrowing this down. I literally have like almost 27 tabs open here of news stories. Um, but the main one I'm gonna go ahead and talk about, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna talk about again later, is the whole KuCoin one. Um, Let me pull up the article ahead. So apparently they said that I've been seeing, of course, you're going to listen. It's just like bulls and bears in crypto. You got some people that's bullish on the price of Bitcoin and they want to see it go up. And then you got the people that want to see it go down because maybe they want to buy some more of it. Um, so you just got to kind of take each piece of news with a grain of salt. But at the same time, you got to take all the news as from both sides and try to develop your own opinion on it. But apparently, there was some stories that saying they've been trying to sell the exchange for months now, even before this whole regulatory thing happened or whatever. Them going after KuCoin. So I don't know how true it is. I got to look deep into it. I mean, in this space, you got to keep up with the macro news, which I try to keep up with, and also keeping up with all the projects that you're in, keeping up the projects that are coming out, keeping up with projects that you want to get into, or trying to find new projects or whatever. So yeah, not all the times I'm going to be able to get deep in this stuff, especially in this time we're in the market now. As I always explain to people might, their friend may tell them, "Man, I just, made a 10 to 20x on my money," and so then the friend jumps into crypto, and they're like, "I thought you said this thing moves fast," but you might get in a part of the market where the market is quiet. But for this next 3 to 4 months, you're not going to have the leisure time that you once had. That's me included, um, to keep up with a lot of this stuff. Excuse me. So one thing I did see that I'm gonna pull this one up as I look at these other stories. But apparently, it says KuCoin plans a $10 million airdrop of BTC KCS, which is their exchange token, as the DOJ Justice Department is cracking down on them. It says cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin will hold an airdrop of Bitcoin and its native KCS token worth $10 million, according to a letter from the CEO, Johnny Liu. However you say his name, probably saying it incorrectly. On the exchange's blog, March 27th, the news comes a day after the United States Justice Department announced charges against the exchange and its two founders. He did not mention the federal charges, although he alluded to them in the first sentence of his letter. I would like to express my gratitude to all KuCoin users for your support, trust, and companionship during the past few days. Recently, on March 26, 27, some users experienced longer than expected wait times during their withdrawal. To express our profound gratitude for your support and patience, KuCoin will launch a special airdrop event totaling $10 million in KCS and Bitcoin. Now, what I can say about this, I know some of you guys are going to, want to be degens and go chase every airdrop. I know a lot of people, airdrop farm and all that kind of stuff. But I've, expressed my want to be back on KuCoin because they did take it from us in the States last cycle. It was one of the main exchanges that we were using to get into a lot of these projects early. Um, but they took it away from us or whatever, the whole KYC thing or whatever. But at the same time, um, I wouldn't be too much on KuCoin right now. Is all I can really say. A lot of people saying, "Oh, it's just for KuCoin to be fine." I think they'll be fine too, whatever happens. Even though there's this news about them trying to sell the exchange, I think it will still in the future be up and running. But as of now, I don't know if I want to be trading on there, and definitely not holding stuff on there. I don't know, not financial advice, but maybe if you want to take a gamble and you get on there and buy something that you see you want to buy, if that's what you want to do, please send it immediately to cold storage as soon as you get an opportunity. Don't hold anything on KuCoin right now. Like I said, you already saw what happened. A lot of people are having problems with their withdrawals, or the withdrawals taking longer than they need to. Once again, I'm gonna say it again. I like KuCoin. It's one of the exchanges I want to get back on because a lot of stuff launches on KuCoin. But just think about how we had, what happened with FTX in the past when, Sam Bankman Fried came out and said, yeah, they're attacking us, but everything is fine with the exchange. Don't worry about it. And some people believed it and continued to hold their money on FTX. And then the exchange went under. A lot of people lost money. And a lot of those people have not gotten that money back till this day. So don't take that chance. I keep saying, I'll be preaching on the channel. Everybody wants to hear about micro caps, and once under $1 million that we can invest into and get a 5,000x. But this stuff is just important. Like, you can lose all your money if you're holding stuff on this exchange or whatever. So it's not a move that I would be doing right now. I would not be holding anything on there. And speaking of that, I believe doesn't Sam Bankman's I think his sentencing starts today. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I've been busy all morning looking at news and looking up different tokens or whatever. I know I'm looking up the whole stream because I'm looking at my screen, but I believe he already started. I think the case started a while ago, to be honest, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, today's the 20th. Yeah, it's the sentencing day for Sam Bankman Fried. So we're gonna see what happens with this. As I said in the past, I believe, to be honest, now if he gets some time and he actually does get sentenced, like, a lot of people said they think, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm not even sharing this, but a lot of people saying that they think he's going to get off. Um, I would say even if he gets off, it'll be one of those things that kind of be out of people's sight after a while, because there's something people been waiting on. The market will pump after this. But I will say, if he does get a sentencing and does get some time, that's going to be really bullish for the market. I feel like the market it will take off. I mean, I don't think we're going to get any news today or whatever. We'll see what happens. But if something does come out of this and he does get some time, I think it's going to be really bullish for the market. I did not get the chance to look into this story. Let me say, it was, I was just, like I said, I was looking at all the news stories and just pulling them up, and I got all these tabs open, but I didn't get a chance to get them in order, and dig deeper into these. But there's a whole, I don't know if you guys know about the whole Craig White thing. Was trying to say he was Satoshi, and they went to court about it. But it says Justin, excuse me, judge declares that Craig White is not Satoshi or whatever, because I think he was trying to get access to the wallets or whatever. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what happens with this, but I don't know. I didn't get a chance to look deep into this, but it's just been a lot of news today. I felt like it was Friday, and I wish I would have had a chance to get all this stuff together. I'm clicking through the tabs as I go, but it's probably not in the order that I want it to be in. But once again, I will reiterate, with all this stuff, Craig Wright, Satoshi, Sam Bankman, KuCoin, please stop leaving your stuff on exchanges. Um, I don't. I can't stress enough. I'm not going to keep repeating. I think I said it enough already. Once again, these stories are way out of order, but it's all good. So this is a very important one here too, and I'm gonna try to talk about this from different angles, even though this is out of order. It said yesterday they tried to dump, and what you'll get in the next couple of weeks is a lot of people trying to scare you out the market. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on, but it says they try to scare people out the market. Yesterday they tried to dump the market. The market by KuCoin FUD. It didn't work. Today they came up with Coinbase FUD. It didn't work. There's a big entity or group of entities who want cheap Bitcoin and Ethereum. Don't sell them your crypto. And I'm gonna just say this straightforward. I'm gonna probably talk about some stuff that I wanted to talk about later, but I'm gonna talk about it all together. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna scare you out. And to be honest, there's a potential for you or us that are holding altcoins. And if you're new to the cycle, you're gonna feel real stupid, probably, potentially, at least with some of your tokens. Now we're gonna get in some that are gonna run and get us some quick X's or whatever. But for some of your tokens, you're gonna feel real stupid holding them. And that's just kind of how the cycle works. Between a lot of the attention being on Bitcoin and Bitcoin pumping right now, and on, like I said, on top of the FUD that people are putting into the market, and as I've been talking about a lot, that I'll talk about people making up projects and them getting together. Talking about entities trying to dump Bitcoin. There's a lot of entities getting together, um, between scammers, like I said, and influencers that are creating projects, and they are pumping them now because I keep saying it. Y'all think I'm just saying this, but it's what's happening. What they're doing is they're creating fake projects and they're pumping them up so they can get liquidity for the projects that they know are going to pump later in the cycle. I didn't want to really say it, but I'm not gonna say it on the stream. But I said it in the Patreon or whatever. I know what I'll be talking about. I look at this like this one particular project. It's got a very catchy ticker, a very catchy ticker. Like, how could it not? And I looked and I looked and I looked, and I could be wrong, but from as much as I looked at this project, there's nothing valid about it. And I see, like, I've never seen so many like meme coin scammers on a project ever, like following a project that's supposed to be a legit project. Because if you guys don't understand, you hear me talk about the meme coin scammers or whatever. Meme coin scammers, they don't study the market. Like, y'all don't understand that they okay. A lot of these people got into Ethereum early. They're developers. They know how to create a token. And so if they can get together and pump meme coins, they're going to create multiple meme coins. They're going to go from one meme coin to the next meme coin, and they're just going to keep creating them, and they're becoming millionaires off this. And y'all don't even realize these are people you don't know their faces, you don't know who they are, and so that's their tactic, right? Um, so what I'm seeing them doing this cycle, like I said, I've been following some of these guys for 3 cycles now, even before meme coins were hot. I know I can call about 6 of them who were just like everybody else in crypto. They were following projects, legit projects, because they are developers. They know the tech or whatever, whatever. And so I watched them go from just like the rest of us who were maybe, from back when BitConnect was around and we were investing in EOS and, when Atom first came out and the different projects that were coming out, what is it? It's called Multiverse X now. I can't even think of the former name, but they were right there with us investing into eGold and all the stuff, right? Elron, excuse me, and all these different projects when they first came out. And I slowly started to see them go over to, like, it was like Doge, then Shiba, and then they was like, wait a minute, this kind of, and I watched them over 3 cycles become full meme coin scammers, and that's where they have lived for the last 2 cycles. Create one meme coin, pump it up, create the next one, pump it up, create the next one, pump it up. So what I'm saying is, if they can make money this easy in the market, they have no need to go into legit projects. They don't have to chase Solana and AVAX when they pump, or even some of the other altcoins that are great altcoins, right? They live in their meme coin world. So anyway, I said all that to say is, I'm seeing a lot of them on these what y'all think are like legit projects, and mainly it's been in the AI sector. And so I saw this one particular project, and there have been some big accounts, I'm not gonna say any names, some big accounts and influential people in the space talking about them too. So if you got both of those groups of people pumping these tokens, like, it's going to pump. And so I probably should be saying this in the Patreon, but sorry, y'all. It's not alpha, but so what I'm realizing in this cycle, I thought this was going to be at the end of my stream, but I'm just going to say it now because it's on my mind. But what I realize is something I realized before. You got to be smart enough not to be dumb, but dumb enough not to be too smart to make money in this industry. And so when I do my research, I find great projects, great teams. I know there's influences behind them that are going to pump them. And that's mainly where I try to live at, in that region of safety, especially when I have a Patreon and I have to give these plays to people in my Patreon. I want to make sure they're protected and they're not just getting into any type of trash or whatever. We're playing a different game this cycle, man. We're playing a different game this cycle. This has always been a part of the game, but it's not been the main part. Like I said, when you got meme coin scammers that are like, hey, look at this AI project or whatever, it's going to pump. And then you got the same people with big YouTube channels that are known to only invest in reputable projects also saying, hey, look at this project. And when you got both, the things going to pump. I saw one pump and I was like, this is some absolute BS. And so, everybody they like to come in their Patreon on their YouTube page, like, yeah, I just pick all the good picks. I know everything is gonna pump. But I found myself like, dang, I missed this play. I missed this play. This be people in my Patreon like, does he know what's going on? Like, I know what's going on, but I can't get into what's going on and can't tell y'all to get in what's going on because who's to say which one of these ones going to catch on? And so I saw one person say it yesterday, and I saw somebody else say it this morning. And I'm watching. I'm an empath, so I'm watching the way they're wording their sentences, and what they're pretty much saying is like, "Hey, man, we all got together behind the scenes, behind y'all back to pump this token, but I didn't know it was going to build a community like this and get this level of validity." And so, even if a token is a scam token and they just made it pump, say they made it just for a quick pump, they just wanted a quick 10x. After a while, after a project reaches a certain market cap, it has a certain amount of validity now. Like, what can you do with it? It is now a valid token. No matter if the developers continue to develop the project, even if they don't even stay on the roadmap, they might not even touch anything on the roadmap. It's got such a community now that, as people say in the space, you almost can't even fade it. But I've seen, that's when I knew two of these projects were fake, because two of the people that talked about them, they were like pausing in their sentences. Like they couldn't even complete the sentence. They're like, they're like, dang, this thing really took off. So anyway, that's the game I'm having to be aware of, because everybody's here to make money. And I know a lot of people want to make the money as quick as possible. Some of y'all don't have the patience to, even when I'm knowing some of these are going to do astronomical numbers, some of y'all don't have the patience to wait that time. You're like, well, this is running. Everybody keep telling me they just got a 10x over here, so y'all want like immediate gains, and we've gotten some of them. And say, some of y'all weren't in the Patreon. And that's why I'm trying to get the people that's in the Patreon now. And some of these, like we had G Swift that already, did astronomical numbers. Neon that did astronomical numbers. There's supposed to be some bullish news on them. I got to check on that news to make sure it's valid. We had Metal that we got in at 1 million market cap. I feel like we was talking about Metal before anybody really. And so we have some that have run, and I have just as much faith in some of these other ones that are going to run later, maybe when the narrative comes around and when they catch on. I feel like I've done good enough research on them. But I'm just be honest. Most people, like I said, most people come to their channel, they just want to talk about all the bullish stuff. Like, yeah, we got all the wins and look, we getting all these X's and stuff. But I'm being honest, just like y'all, I'm very annoyed, because I'm like, one of them in particular, I saw a particular, no, I didn't. I should have saw a particular influencer following the project, and I should have known that it was going to fly. But I'm gonna be honest, I looked at the project, I looked like in my traditional way of looking, like, see who's backing it, see who the team is. The team was not doxxed, still is not doxxed. But if I would have looked deeper, I would have saw somebody that was following it and realized like, oh man, this junk is about to pump. And I believe that's what happened. People saw that a certain person was following it, and that's what made it take off, and it's probably going to continue to pump. Anyway, I went on a tangent there, but because they were talking about the different entities that are trying to make Bitcoin dump. Yeah, we all getting played. We all getting played. So yeah, as far as being in the circle of no and alpha, yeah, I do know, but I'm not in people's listen. Be honest, I'm not gonna lie like that. I'm not in these people's text groups. I'm not in the text messaging groups that you guys have when they're like, yeah, man, have Joe Blow over here, have him create a token for us tomorrow. And then over this team over here is going to work on the website. This one going to work on the Twitter, and we just going to pump this fake token. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not that deep in, but what I will say is I feel like we're in great projects that are going to pump this cycle. But this whole game they playing, I've been talking about it for weeks, and it's just it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy. One of them I know I saw when it came out, but next thing I looked and the sucker had already 10x. I'm like, are you serious? Like, but yeah, like, I'm not in the text messaging group, so only thing I can do is find you projects that I know they got influences, that I know they have influences behind them, and venture capitalist groups behind them. So that's what I do. That's the offer the value I can offer. Once again, these stories are way out of order, so let's get a little ADHD here. So, so it says Bitcoin whales have purchased more than 100,000 BTC or Bitcoin over the past week, worth $7 billion. So that could be between retail. This is still retail. They're not institutional retail whales. This could be institutional whales. or whatever. But the halving, if y'all don't know, the halving is from what we know is about 3 weeks away. So in these next 3 weeks, like I said, they're gonna do a lot of manipulation to try to scare you out of the markets. Um, they're gonna do a lot of manipulation to try to scare you out of the market. So you can't let them scare you out of the market. Even though like, man, this altcoin not pumping, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get over this thing that's pumping or whatever. You just got to hold the line. I always, yeah, and I'm not going to talk about it long, but I always use the example of Matic that was at 1 penny for like 6 to 8 months. And if you would have sold out, you'd have missed a 300x. So find your conviction in the projects, do your own research, your own due diligence. And don't be trying to, don't be lily pad hopping from projects to projects. And I understand because sometimes you don't have more liquidity or dry powder on the side. So you're like, well, I got to pull out of this one to get into this one. Just make sure you feel like you're making a sound decision, but always look back and try to look at why did you feel bullish about that project you bought in the beginning in the first place. Like there was a reason you bought it. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, dang, I see this one, not something that's pumping. I don't chase pumps, but you see this something that may have came out of is going to come out. You like, should I take from this project to put in this project or whatever, half of it? But sometimes I'll just look at them like, nah, I remember I'm bullish on this, and I'm gonna just have to find some extra liquidity somewhere. Um, because I'm not rich. I know I probably have a lot more in the market than a lot of people, but even still, even if I have a big allocation of project, I'm like, man, I still want to hold this big allocation. I don't even want to take a nibble out of this project to put in this project, even though I know this project could be bullish. Sometimes you have to narrow it down. You can't be over diversified. Um, so just make sure you're making the right decision. Now, this one, I'm pulling this up because it's news. Like a lot of people only talk about news about the projects that they're in. And y'all know I told you I'm not trying to get into near or whatever. But I did see this news here and I want to dig deeper into it. And I'm going to bring it to your attention in case you want to do your own due diligence. I know another project that's doing something that sounds even a little. Um, I think my sound went out. Uh, Just a minute, y'all. Am I back? Yeah, I should be back. Sorry, y'all. I should have changed those batteries before. I wish y'all. I should do a documentary on how it looks over here in the morning. Me running around doing multiple things. Um, I didn't even eat breakfast this morning. That's how crazy it gets. Um, but yeah. So it says chain signatures launched on Near Protocol today, enabling Near accounts and smart contracts to sign transactions for any blockchain. No bridges required. I know another project is working on something like this, and I think it's a little bit better. I'm not sure, so I got to look into Near's. But once again, I'm bringing the news to you. Sometimes I do try to dive into these stories and give you the whole full take of what's going on. But I'm just seeing this one this morning. But it is some news and just really showing how the industry is really moving towards interoperability. Like people keep talking about what project is going to kill what project, but I feel like they're all going to work together. But to be honest, I was telling somebody this the other day. I still even think with layer ones and a lot of these big market cap tokens, I feel like it's even oversaturated there. People talk about the oversaturation in gaming, but it's like so many layer ones now, man. I'm just like, is it worth like holding all of them and then y'all all around a billion market cap? Like, which one is going to get the pump? Like, all of y'all can't pump 50x from a billion market cap. So I know what a lot of people saying, like I said, I already have my big market caps tokens for security or whatever, but it's so many layer ones right now that at a billion or over a billion, they all can't 50x from here. So I'm not looking to hold too many of them, but interoperability really is going to be a thing. But they said that the chain signature supports Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cosmos chains, Dogecoin, and XRP Ledger. Hopefully they get some more. But I mean, it's cool news. I want to dive into the story later on. But here in this thread, it says new use cases unlock DeFi for non-smart contract chains, including BTC, access to previously inaccessible liquidity. bridgeless cross-chain DeFi multi-chain account aggregation. Apps can serve all ecosystems at once. So yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of bullish news for Near coming out lately, especially the whole AI thing, but it's already at 8 billion. I know it is almost fully diluted. But for me, it's not something I'm looking to hold and see if it goes to 80 billion, which is a 10x or whatever. It could go farther than that, but still, I feel like that's waiting the whole cycle for a 10x, and that's not something I'm trying to do. For my big caps, like Solana Injective, I've already got those X's on that already. Um, so y'all probably saying, well, Zoe, is this something I should hold? I mean, I don't know. That's up to you. Depends on where you got in at Near, but for where is it right now, it's not something I'm looking to pick up. It's nice news for them though. Nice news for the space. But as far as an investment and making some X's on, it's not something I'm looking to hold. Once again, these stories are out of order, so I'm gonna get to so anyway. It says USC, sorry, USC. What did I get that from? US Bitcoin ETFs with a strong 418 million net positive day yesterday. Well, this is the 26th, but whatever. Despite the 212 million outflow from GBTC. But I really brought the story up not for necessarily particularly that day, but I will say even for what I'm seeing, like the grayscale outflows have slowed down. That could be because all the people who were scared have went ahead and took the profits they wanted to take from last cycle, whatever when we were around the 70,000, 69, 70,000 range. But I'm pretty sure the other people that are holding on, they're like, hey, they know the halving is coming up. They're not as afraid of Bitcoin falling, because I keep seeing a lot of people from the traditional world that think, yeah, this is the top. I've seen even news stories say, hey, this is where Bitcoin topped out last time we saw was at 69,000, and this is probably the top, and it's going to fall from here. But if you're in the space, you know what's happening. You know the halving is coming up. You know the ETFs are still pumping money into Bitcoin. So the outflows from Grayscale have slowed down, and it's just going to so when money inflows into the ETFs, it's just going to make the price go up even more because there's no outflows to to offset it or whatever. Yeah, I told you these stories were out of order, but yeah, this was what I was saying about KuCoin. A lot of people were complaining about how long it was taking for them to get their money off the exchange. The exchange claims everything is okay, but like I said, in the short term, until we get some clarification and see what's going to happen with this, I would not hold anything on KuCoin whatsoever, y'all. It's just not what I would do. This article is saying that 11, I think it's more than 11 billion. I think it's more like 13, maybe 14 billion or whatever, but it doesn't matter. But this says 11 billion USD has flowed into the spot Bitcoin ETFs since January 11th. Bitcoin went from 40Ks to 70Ks with that 11 billion. And we know, especially when the halving comes, there's going to be more money flowing into the Bitcoin ETFs. But even if, this is why I keep saying, even if it's the same 10 billion, 11 billion, 12 billion, whatever you want to call it, even if this is that same amount, still with the halving coming, is almost going to be like 20 billion flowing into the ETFs or whatever. So, and with the outflows stopping or slowing down with Grayscale, it's just going to cause the price to start really going up astronomically. There's two sides to look at this. Like a lot of people saying, well, this money is going into the ETFs. It's not people buying, Bitcoin right on the market. So, what is that going to do for altcoins? But like I said, when people see the price of Bitcoin steady going up, more retail investors are going to start coming into the market. This is something I talk about all the time. Let me go through these fast. I still got a lot of tabs. But it says, mistake. Second cycle investors are too confident that they can time the top. A lot of people do this. They did it last cycle. But in the heat of the moment, they don't pull out in time, and they realize they effed up several months later. I know my pull-out game is weak, so I dollar cost average out. Yeah, there's going to be a point, like I say in the Patreon, when we start talking about when to start trying to ladder out the market. Some people want every X they can get, but as I've been saying, if you can get your 20, 50X, gains, just, out of your whole portfolio, that's good. So don't try to be greedy and, don't listen. Even when we talk about the 20X and 50X of your portfolio, that might be that some of your plays only did a 10, 20X, but one of them did a 200X. But when you average it out, your entire portfolio did a 20 to 50X. So I want to clarify that. Some people are like, well, Zoe said 50X my entire portfolio. That doesn't mean everything's going 50X, but I feel like the plays we're in, I think they all can pretty much do that. But, once you get to that 50X of your entire portfolio, if you came into this market with like $1,000 and that's all you put into market, and now your portfolio is sitting at $50,000, you should be thinking about taking some profits here and there or whatever. Don't get greedy. And you, because you heard somebody made $1 million. Well, they probably came in with more than $1,000. You came in with $1,000. Look at your own portfolio. Don't look at somebody else's yard and seeing what they're doing and counting their pockets and thinking, well, I came with $1,000. If they got $1 million, I can get $1 million too. You may come out with 30,000, 100,000, or whatever. But so don't be greedy. But a lot of people mess up thinking they're gonna time the cycle. But you got to realize everybody's thinking the same thing. So be careful with that. This article is just talking about how DeepN is really popping on Solana. Y'all know how I feel about that. You should know. It says most DeepN AI tokens have 5 and 10x since this article. Now is the second best time to study DeepN and I guess in AI to prepare for the second hype cycle in DeepN and AI. So yeah, they have been really making some moves over in Solana as far as that sector goes. So yeah, definitely check that out. Same thing. This is kind of countering what I was saying. Yes, you don't want to hold your tokens too long and try to time the cycle top, but at the same time, this is not really the time to be selling your altcoins. Like we still got some tremendous upside with the halving hasn't even come yet. And I know a lot of you who are new, you're like, well, people saying the cycle is top, the market is going to drop, these altcoins aren't moving. That's what altcoins do sometimes. You got a couple of them that are running, give you a 20x real quick or 50x. Like I said, we've had some of those, but there's going to be a time when the market is real quiet. All the focus is kind of on Bitcoin right now with the halving coming up. But yeah, you still get some pumps in AI and some other narratives, real world assets and all that kind of stuff. But don't think like it's the middle of the market and we in the heat. We're not in the heat yet. We still got time. So don't let these little price drops shake you out of the market. Lowest Bitcoin reserves in 9 years on Coinbase, 344,800 Bitcoin remaining, according to Glassnode's reporting, which means people are definitely buying up this Bitcoin. And the bullish thing is a lot of people are they're holding it now and they're sending it to self custody in their cold storage to keep. A lot of these people are not trying to sell. They're trying to sell it later, but a lot of people are on to the fact that you should be storing your own Bitcoin. And you should not be holding it on the exchanges. This one says on-chain wise, KuCoin is fine. Bitcoin and Ethereum withdrawals surged, driven mainly by retail users with a small impact on the overall reserve. They appear to not be commingling customer funds and have sufficient reserves to process users' withdrawals. So it's not the same as like with FTX. They're saying that like what FTX was commingling the users' funds. They're just pretty much saying that the charges against them are pretty much they're saying that they was running money laundering and like allowing people to trade without KYC or whatever. So it doesn't seem like they're having those type of problems, but yet and still, as I said, I would still get my stuff off KuCoin as soon as possible. You know what? Ooh, no, I can't talk about this one. So sometimes when I'm looking for my news, it's of course for the group too, and how I'm, trying to get stuff for the Patreon. Now I'm not gonna share that one on stream. That is some alpha there that I gotta make sure I get back to later. This one, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about this, and I haven't been keeping up with it the best as I should. But Hong Kong-based asset manager VSFG and Value Partners apply for spot Bitcoin ETFs. A lot of them have been doing this in Hong Kong, and I don't know if you know, Hong Kong got money. Like it's not cheap to live there. Like it's a pretty nice place to live. So they got money. So once that money starts flowing in, you got all kinds of countries coming into Bitcoin right now. So I think it's gonna be a really bullish cycle, man. And like I said, we're still early. I know I titled the thumbnail a lot of alpha. Do I want to talk about this one? I'll do it like this. Yeah, but so anyway, this one says BlackRock's entry signals 10x to 100x potential in the RWA sector, and just showing some of the RWA projects that are out there. I'm looking at some other ones that that can run a little bit more than these. But yeah, I think I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about RWA the same way some people were at the beginning of this cycle, and some people are still thinking that way. But with BlackRock coming in and stuff, like I've talked about some of the big ones. Like I've y'all know I've been talking about Ondo and some of the other ones way before they pumped like Goldfinch and all those guys. I've been talking about those. I put it in the group and stuff. Excuse me, stuff like that. But I want to start looking at some of these other ones. I will say it is to me like the AI sector though. A lot of these are some just straight trash. To be honest, not probably some of the ones on here, but some of the ones I see in that sector. So you got to be really careful. A lot of people just like to gamble and throw whatever into whatever because it's the narrative. And if I was by myself, maybe I could do that. But being that I have a Patreon, I can't always do that because, like I said, with AI, some of the people who plan to pump these things and just to use people as exit liquidity. Didn't expect them to catch on and be like staples in the AI sector right now. Like they got huge communities around some of these that I know that was just god awful trash just thrown together. The website looked like trash. They barely did a half job on the website, but for whatever reason, they got a foothold now. And so, but yeah, you got to be careful with both of those sectors. I didn't get too deep into this one, but it said Ethereum and Litecoin classified as commodities in the KuCoin case. Ethereum and Litecoin celebrate regulatory clarity. I got to start digging deeper into this KuCoin case because, like I say, even though I micro cap hunt, market cap, no, I don't micro cap hunt, but you know what I'm trying to say, I find gems or whatever. You still got to keep up with this stuff or whatever. This was talking about the AI merger that I talked about yesterday. I don't want to get too deep in that one. Oh, the hacker. Just be careful in the space. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I want to get to some of you guys' questions and stuff. So here's one too. So I saw this one. I want to dig deep into this one, but it said meme coin influencers are falling under the Financial Conduct Authority's regulatory spotlight. The FCA said the so-called finfluencers must have approval from the FCA appointed representative prior to advertising or posting meme coins about financial products and services. The Financial Conduct Authority is looking to rein in, among other things, meme-centric marketing for financial products. The United Kingdom's financial regulator put forth guidelines for both financial services companies and influencers on social media who make memes about cryptocurrency or investments, indicating that any marketing should be transparent and not misleading. So a lot of people, that in the UK, they want the UK to be a hub for crypto, but UK has been cracking down crazy. And so once again, this is not because I'm in the States. I don't want it to sound like it's a country versus country thing. So I know because I'm in the States, when I say like UK scammers, y'all like, oh, it's US scammers too. I do know that. But what I will say, I do know a lot of these meme scammers are from the UK. And that's what I was talking about earlier. You can believe it if you want or not. But like I said, a lot of these projects are straight up made. They just make them like meme coins. And so a lot of the meme coin scammers and stuff and the ones that make these fake projects are over there. So looks like they're cracking down on them. I don't know if it's going to slow down. I kind of doubt it does, but a lot of people are taking notice to this stuff, man. That's kind of alpha because I want to. No, I can't talk about that on stream. I need to get back to that and talk to the group about. I gotta remember both of these articles. I doubt I'll forget them though. But listen, I don't know how this one is going to go. But once again, they're doing the pre-sales for meme coins again. It says breaking: someone received over $20 million in less than an hour for an alleged token pre-sale on Solana. It's just crazy how y'all just go into these pre-sales not even knowing what the product is. Like, I don't know how people are doing that. But if that's what you want to do with your money, I can't really stop you from doing that. So it's a lot of news, but some of this I got to save for the group. I can't talk about some of this stuff. Don't care about that one. I already kind of talked about that one. Yeah, this one also talking about people selling their altcoins too early because I don't know why. It's like they haven't been in the cycle before. Like we got plenty of more time to go. I wanted to talk about the Robin Hood story. Maybe tomorrow because I want to get to you guys' questions and stuff, and I don't want the stream to be too long. That one's interesting. Let's see what else we got here. XRP. Listen, I don't think you're gonna do a lot of X's on XRP, but I think people are going to continue to hold XRP and Cardano for a little while longer until they really figure out what's going on, and they realize that, hey man, if I want some more X's, I got to get into something else. This is the same thing. Near launches tool for signing transactions on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more. I talked about that one. Yeah, some of these I'm skipping for the stream because I'm going to talk about later. I need to keep some of these myself. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the questions, y'all. I wanted to cover more, but it's a lot of news. But I'm not going to talk about all of it on stream because some of that I want to dig into for myself and for the group. So yeah, I know some people are like, man, you withholding or whatever. Yes, I am. But yeah, so let's get to these comments over here. Cordero said changed his name to Sam Bankman incarcerated. Yeah, we're gonna see what go. I had, of course, I can't keep up with the story while I'm on stream, but I'm gonna look into it after. It's so much to keep up with. I can't do everything. As he said, good morning. Good morning. How you doing? Joe Gut said G Swift is a good one. Yeah, G Swift is still got some upside in it into it. I'm glad we got it early. That and Neon, man. If um, I know you probably like, how does he not know if the news is for sure or whatever? But I saw some news about Neon that I want to look into, and I've been saying this for a while. I don't talk about it a lot for the group. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to use my group to pump my bags. I mean, I got in Neon like way super early, like 6 cents, like almost six flat. And I see some bullish news around it, but I got to see how legit it is because I've been looking at other projects. But I do think, yeah, I think Neon could be 1,000x for us, to be honest. So I think some of these other ones have potential too, but we're gonna see what happens. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, is what I do know. But anyway, I got to check on that news. Radiant Substance said, "Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?" Joe Gut said, "Connects is a good interoperability play." Yeah, it is. It is. It's like, yeah. Some of these are quiet right now. I thought it was gonna move a little bit more by now, but it's all good. I think it's definitely gonna be moving later on. Chuck said, "Good morning, guys. Good morning. How you doing?" Jag said, "Cryptozoa heard that non-native tokens can be frozen by you. Excuse me, by users like Circle can freeze USDC versus native tokens." I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Though. Oh, I think I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, but I mean, it's a part of the market. I don't think that's something they're gonna do. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like that. But to be honest, same. I mean, they've done it even with like scammers and stuff like with USDT. When some of these scammers have tried to like steal money and take off with it, they freeze the USDT or whatever. So they can't make off with it or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely something that can happen. But far as I know a lot. It's scary with the digital money thing, but I don't think they're gonna do it. Like when you're holding your gains in your stable coins or whatever you're spending your state. I don't think that's something they're going to do. Because what I say, you got to realize money's been digital for a long time. When we talk about it in crypto terms, people act like it's something different, but like it's always been input. And you get your check, you deposit digitally, and then it appears in your accounts. When was the last time you like, or at least for me, touched a paper check, or you know what I mean? Like most stuff is direct deposit, or I don't know. Money's been digital, but they haven't been freezing it like that. I don't think that's something they want to do. If I'm understanding what you're saying correctly. Elon. Elon said, Hazel, what are your thoughts on YouTubers who say only cryptos on sexes run, then the ones on dexes? That's not true at all. To be honest, it happened again. This is getting annoying. I know, listen, a lot of people don't talk like this on the streams, but I am annoyed because I keep seeing stuff that's just like flies, and I know it's a made up project. I'm not gonna say it on the stream, but I ain't gonna lie, not like anger, but I did slap my desk pretty hard this morning. I was like, to answer your question as a part of it, because I saw this one that I talked about it days ago, and I feel like they just made it out of thin air. And just being on the decks, I think that thing is at, I know I saw it around 400 million, 400 million. Um, it could possibly be near a billion right now. It's a made up project, and it's far as I know. And I say that because I looked at it. I'm gonna give you a little hint. I looked at it, and I believe it was either this morning or yesterday when I was trying to catch up on crypto news. Because sometimes I'm reading news and I'm watching channels at the same time. I watch other people's channels too. So, and the way the person addressed it, they was like, "I think I know the devs, or I think they have good devs." And it's like, y'all got to read these signs sometimes. I was like, it's a made up project. Y'all think Zoes is like, I don't know if, some people think either Zoe, maybe he don't know what he's talking about, maybe he's not connected, or maybe he's hating. It's not hate. It's like when you do a lot of research and you're trying to get in great projects and you see a scam, just made up trash project just pump out of nowhere, you get really annoyed. And as I keep saying, everybody's playing what I call it is my coin term, the accredited investor game, where they launch a token and you thinking this is where the token started, but they just airdropped them to whatever influencer is going to pump them. But yeah, last time I looked, this token was at like $400 million, and the influencer this morning was like, "Yeah, I think the devs are." I'm like, "You're not the type of person to think they have devs or think that the devs are great. You're the type of person to know the devs, and you would talk to them and make sure." And that's what I'm saying, man. So when y'all see stuff pumping, it's like, man, how did Zoe not catch this? Because I'm not in the text groups. I'm not in the text messaging groups when they like, listen, man, we just about to make this AI project and we just about to pump it to the moon. And then everybody FOMOs into it because you hear like, oh my gosh, it's at 400 million in just a couple of days or whatever. And you thinking the same thing. How did I miss this? I watched Zoe's channel and I watched four of the channels. None of them were talking about it because none of us know the game they playing. We not in these groups. We not there. So yeah, I gotta know it. I looked at them. I said, I know good and well this junk is not at no 500 million market cap out of nowhere, and it's only been traded on Dexes. So to answer your question, no, there's projects that can pump on Dexes as well. But I will say the projects that are on sexes are easier to access for more investors, and more people that's buying into crypto is easier for them to access. And so, once you start getting a pump in the market, yeah, the sex ones will probably be the first ones to touch that pump. You know what I mean? Because retailers coming on, they trying to figure out what's going on. They just seeing what they see on exchanges. Of course, most notably Coinbase. So yeah, they're gonna get on Coinbase and they're gonna just buy what's on there first or whatever. But yeah, y'all, I'm annoyed, man. I'm annoyed. And I watch the Twitter pages and all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking into what they doing, but some of them they don't even. I've seen some of them pump before they even had Twitter pages, and I'll see them talk about the project, and I'll go digging for the page of the project. I mean, deep dive digging, and I will find no Twitter page. All of a sudden, a week later, after the project is already pumped to like 200 million, all of a sudden now there's a Twitter page. Um, it's annoying, man. It's really annoying. But what I will say, I mean, it's cool because I got patience. I know the projects we are in are going to pump, but I'm patient and waiting on that. Um, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah. So yeah, the one that on sex is centralized exchanges. They tend to pump first because they're easily accessible. But yeah, the ones on Dexes can pump too. You good. You just like I say, be in the right projects. Joe said, "How do you feel about playable?" So I got him playable like early. Well, I got him playable like dumb early, and so playable gave me some quick X's. I remember when it first pumped. I think it pumped up to probably gave me like a 17x or whatever, and it's been trickling down. Um, I don't know if playable is as attractive to the market as it should be or could be. Um, it is seemingly okay, because they say gaming infrastructure pumps more first in games and all that kind of stuff, and it is an infrastructure play and whatever, whatever, whatever. But it to me, it does seem like right now it relies too much on influencers. Once again, I'm gonna say this out of two sides of my mouth, and it might sound confusing. Some projects are being smart and not marketing yet. And you got to realize some of these are still going to skyrocket. But I don't know if I see playable as if that's the thing that's holding it back or whatever and making it not pump right now. Um, because you have to look at it with two sides. So some people say, hey, look at the ones that are pumping now that show strength, and that's the ones you double down on. If it's not pumping with the market now, it's probably not going to pump. That's not always the case. I said this with a couple of the plays that we're in. Like the influencers are not probably touching their tokens, and to be honest, till to summertime, to May, June, and so you could think like, oh, this is not going to pump because it's not pumping now. Some of these are going to be the ones that do some dumb, crazy numbers, but it's just that there's no influencers talking about them now. Not only that, the projects themselves are not doing marketing right now. But far as playable, man, I don't know. I still hold mine, but I couldn't say that I would recommend it for anybody to buy now. And that could, come back to bite me. And you be like, man, so you holding playable, and you told me not to get it, or you said it's something you wouldn't buy, and then playable skyrockets or whatever. Like I tell people when I invest, I'll invest where I invest, and usually I try to catch stuff at the bottom, so I really don't care for a while because I have so many other plays working for me. I'll hold it till it really looks like, okay, this not gonna do nothing, or at least until I feel like that. And I still could be wrong, but I know that I'm gonna put it in something that may be more bullish and this could still pump. So I'm not losing necessarily. Yeah, you may watch the price skyrocket or whatever, but I'm still comfortable and like I'm still holding these good bags over here. But I don't know if I could have, Playable's been having it rough. And don't get me wrong, a lot of gaming stuff has been sitting still. So I'm just trying not trying to say it, but it's just it seems a little different with Playable. I don't know. Maybe they got some news that's gonna come out later that make me more bullish. And once again, I know you probably asking, well, Zoe, don't you keep up with your plays? I have to keep up with my plays on top of researching new plays for myself and for the Patreon. So it's not all the time I can check every single project's Discord every single day. So I mean, I'll look in there and see what they got going on. But I mean, that's my take on that. Hey Zoe, are you bullish on real world assets? Yeah, I'm becoming more bullish on it. So I got to find some plays that we can get into. That we can get some gains on. Like I said, I believe I was talking about Ondo and Goldfinch way before anybody. And here's another thing. I even tell people in the Patreon. I have a portion of the Patreon that says do your own research. Right? Don't just look into the buy alerts and stuff. I know even when I first started, some of the stuff I think I did buy, and I just put in do your own research because I was just hearing how buy alerts work so differently with other people's groups or whatever. But sometimes it's because I don't have time to watch those particular projects. But when I put in do your own research, some of those are definitely good buys. Like I said, I was talking about those projects way before they started pumping. I mean, you could have got like probably a 6 to 7x. I know on like Goldfinch really took off. Um, Ando's, I put the news and I talked about Ando on the channel or whatever. But anyway, what I'm saying is I do want to find some other RWA projects that have some upside to them, and just like I said, really just realizing how to play this game safely. And to be honest, like they say, scared money don't make money, right? So I just got to learn how to play this game with these AI and real world asset plays that may not necessarily have full validity, but could have a number of people behind them that's going to pump them to the moon or whatever. And if you want to treat it like a trade, say if you get a 10x out of it, and you know it's not quite a valid project, but the influencers are pumping it, maybe just go ahead and grab the 10x and get on out. But I've seen some people holding these projects like they're long term. Some of them may turn into long term projects because I know two of those like AI projects, like they got a real community behind them now, and it's going to continue to pump probably. But for me, knowing I know I wouldn't continue to hold them. But I don't know. That's just my take. Anyway, you asked about real world, and yeah, so yeah, I'm RWA is definitely cool. I'm just trying to see how I can really capitalize on that, especially with BlackRock, in the space now and people becoming more bullish on it. Yeah, you just got to learn how to play the game, make the money. Chuck said, "What do you think will be the next narrative after AI dies down?" Now, dies down. I don't know about dies down. I hear what you're saying, though. I understand what you're saying. Like, I think AI is going to be full steam ahead, to be honest. I always said coming into it since the day I started my channel and my Patreon, I always said AI was one of my sectors. But like I said, it's just so many fake AI projects that it just makes you like kind of leery to what you invest in. So let me see. Where we at? We're in April. I think AI could still run for a while, but I do believe I know this sounds kind of I think it's probably going to be I think DPen's probably going to be next. I want to say gaming, but I think DPen might be next because once again, it's everybody coming into the ETFs. Bitcoin, BlackRock. Okay, what's the next most valid thing? I think it'll be DPen, then probably gaming. So I know a lot of people, y'all probably want to hear something different, but it'll be between DPen and gaming, I think. But I think DPen is going to come next, and then probably gaming after that. Like I said, what I know about even some of the gaming releases and stuff and whatever. Um, I think I think it'll be DPen first, or it might be simultaneously that they kind of catch on, at the same time. What we got here? John said, "Hey Zoe, do you trust your coins in a software wallet like MetaMask, or would you rather hold all your coins in a hardware wallet?" Oh, the hardware wallet for sure. Cole. I mean, because a lot of people really, 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 really hate MetaMask, but I think it's okay. But no, I don't hold anything. I'll just send it to cold storage. Hardware wallet, cold storage, same thing. Always try to send your stuff to cold storage. I know a lot of people just think, oh, it's cool. I'm still self custodying or whatever. Just like I tell people, spend the $60 and get a Tangent and Tangent or whatever. You got Tangent, you got one key. I have a Keystone too. Actually, I got about all of them. I don't use my Treasure as much, but please send your stuff to a hardware wallet or cold wallet, and don't play those games with MetaMask and stuff. Um, and even still, let me tell you a story. So as much as and I hate this because one of my guys has been with me since the beginning and told me this morning. This is crazy. So yeah, listen, get a cold storage. Let me say that first, or a hardware wallet, and keep your seed phrase, y'all. I know you like, oh, it's my computer, it's my phone, it's just me or whatever. Anything. What if your computer blows up? Or I know it sounds crazy, but computers do that. Catch on fire, burns out, your hard drive gives out or whatever, and then that's on that computer or whatever. So how do you move it to another place or whatever? That's all. I'm not gonna tell nobody business, but what if something happens to that computer or your phone or whatever? Make sure you got your seed phrase. Get a cold storage and get your seed phrase. Even if you have a MetaMask or a Trust Wallet or whatever, make sure you have your seed phrase and write it down. Don't just think like, "What's my computer? Ain't nothing gonna happen to it. I'll handle that later." And some people will get where they like, "Well, I'll keep it on that until I get a cold storage." But then they're like, "So I don't need to, get my seed phrase or whatever." That's not the way to think about that. Yeah, yeah. Thompson, what did I miss? Oh man. Oh, so you agree too, EA? Yeah, okay, so yeah, deep end. That's why I said I think deep end would be next because it's just the way RWA is taking off in people than traditional finance. But yeah, deep end I think is next, and then gaming. Um, so yeah, I mean, I just feel like that's where we're at, and I think EA agrees. So EA said, but RWA will be all cycle. Yeah, yeah. I think you was telling me that earlier too. And like I said, it's just the way I was looking at RWA and stuff, like the legal clarity and all this kind of stuff. But when you have BlackRock coming in and just to realize, like I was saying earlier in the stream, like you can't be too smart. You gotta be smart enough not to get scammed, but not be too smart and stuff. So, you think about regulatory and how they gonna do this with houses or whatever. But when BlackRock comes into space, nobody's even thinking about that stuff. They just like BlackRock is here. Okay, let's see what BlackRock is doing, and people just follow it. And so you got to kind of be in tune with what's going on and how other people are thinking. Like I say on the channel all the time, it's not just your perspective. You got to see how other people think in the space. You got to move with the market. So yeah, I think deep end is next, and then gaming. So I guess I'm not the only one that thinks that. Um, but like you said, RWA be also RWA, and be honest, next to come up, it will be next to come up. But I don't think AI is going to like die out. I don't think it's going to be like AI is going to drop off. Like AI and RWA are probably going to be all cycle. But I feel the same actually about gaming. Now I think deep. Actually, I think all of them can be all cycle once they catch on. Once their narrative starts, I believe it'll be all cycle. But I will say AI gaming and RWA really could be all cycle. Deep end too, but yeah, I think once they catch on, they're gonna catch. Chuck said deep end is a part of AI. No, no, no. I wouldn't say they're a part of it. You can have some deep end that is a part of AI, but not really, because you got like the hive mappers and stuff like that are deep end, but that's not really AI. And helium mobile and all that kind of that's deep end, but it's not AI. It's just decentralized infrastructure, physical infrastructure. So it's not AI. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so we right under hour. EA, appreciate you coming to hang out and stuff. I did wanted to cover some more stories, but I want to dig more into some of these stories to get back to the group or whatever. But if you want to join the Patreon, I do this terribly every single time, and I do it at the end. But if you want to join the Patreon, it is patreon.com/cryptozo. If you want to get in some of these plays early. And like I said, I've been focusing on certain sectors because I feel like the market was going to take off really fast, but it's feel like it's slowing down. It's going to give us some time to accumulate. So, get in Patreon if you want to get some of these, these plays early if you're new to the space and want to kind of figure out how stuff works. But as I said, I appreciate you guys coming to hang out on the stream or whatever, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time.